my people, all my nerds and nerdettes. Welcome back to Have You Nerd. Yeah, today I'm doing the Batman Who Laughs. I was just so excited about this. It's Christmas Eve when I shot this. You can see my tree behind me there. I was up till like 2 a.m. this night wrapping presents, but this was just sitting there, this box, for days. And I didn't have time to open and put it together and check it out, and I just couldn't wait. So, yeah, like a lot of my videos I shot like this, I'm just so excited, and I honestly love this stuff. I obviously don't have a huge fan base and subscribers. I do this because I love the statues, I love figures, I love comic books, and most nerd stuff. So, yeah, apologies, but most of my videos are just cobbled together like this. But yeah, here we go. Here's the base right here. I got number 806 out of 2500, and the see, it's like a hard piece of plastic that just either screwed or glued onto the statue. I wasn't really feeling that. On most of my statues, the imprint on the base is usually part of the base. You know, the design on the bottom is usually a part of the actual base. It's not just some flimsy plastic attached to it, but here we go. Here's the front of the base, which I really liked. The rust and oxidization and just the way the rust drips down off the metal to make it look like each character is bleeding. Their eyes are bleeding, like they're crying blood, like reminiscent of like some religious stigmata type thing, just creepy looking, you know? And you got Barbara Gordon there, Batgirl, Nightwing, and Batman, or half of Batman, 2/3 of Batman. But Batgirl you could see the most, and then Nightwing, and Batman is less prominent. Then on the side you got the stalactites coming down. Most of this base looks really good, and most of the statue is just out of control. But the back of the base, the rocks look a little fake. This part I had kind of where the paint was lacking. Without the rust coming down and all that, it looked a little fake. And the lights, I'll get to a little later. I didn't really like the paint job on the lights. I've seen a lot better. But other than that, those are just small nitpicks because most people aren't going to see that side of the base, and this side looks amazing. And the cool thing about when you get these statues and whatever 1/6 scale figures, and you notice things that you never really noticed about the character's design before, like how the Batman Who's Laugh cape slash trench coat, whatever you want to call it here, the way it's designed actually looks like a bat swing, like leathery, like a bat swing. And now I realize why he wears that leather trench coat. And yeah, the paint job on this is just amazing. Like, look at the shadowing and just the way everything. The paint on this is a really great statue. Look at the waist, the metal buckles, the rust dripping down the front too. He's got a lot of like dirt in the creases, and the worn leather, the way it's worn and discolored on all the wrinkles there, like it really would. The buckles in the back, buckles up the sleeves. The paint job on the statue is great, and of course that's where it keys in on the bottom. So here's the legs keyed into the base, that keyhole right there, that's where it keys in. just one keyhole for the legs, and the legs could look great too. Look at the stitching right there, the like where it's cut and he stitched it back together, like Frankenstein looking stitching, you know. He's obviously not a great sewer. The rust and dirt on the boots just like the pockets, the creases. Again, that stitching, the leather looks like actual leather, the way they textured it. It's just, I don't know. I really, really, really enjoyed this statue. And the Batman Who Laughs from the day he came out, I love this villain. I mean, Bruce Wayne who gets turned into the Joker, like, imagine a psychopath as the Joker, a serial killer with no qualms about murdering anybody at any time, but who has the brains and wealth of Bruce Wayne behind him. Look at the collar, the paint on the inside of the collar, which you're not even really going to see because the head sculpt is going to cover most of that, but they still made it look like the inside of the cape, just that awesome paint job with the shadowing. The paint job on the statue is great. I had some issues with the back of the base and a couple little things like that I think could have been painted a little better, but for the most part, it's just nitpicking stuff that 90% of people aren't even gonna even care about, look at, or notice. But you know, since it's my statue and you pay good money for these things, I kind of eyeball every little piece of it. But yeah, it looks really good. Right here, you can really see kind of how fake the back of the statue looks. Like that one rock looks kind of plasticky, and yeah, I didn't like that. And here's my issue with the lights. Well, I mean, just the way they painted the lightly around it to make it look like it's glowing. And it works as the effect, it gets the effect across that they're trying to get across. But nowadays we have that luminescent paint and glows under black light, and even I've seen paints that you don't even need black light and just they look so bright like they're glowing. And I would have rather seen something like that done than to paint onto the metal to make it look like it's glowing. And then right here where the rust or whatever that gold stuff is coming off the gold bolt, which is rust. Like, look, that just looks like a paintbrush stroke to me. Like, clearly, it's a paintbrush, and it doesn't look like rust. It looks like a gold paint streak made with the brush. But again, these are just tiny, tiny nitpicks overall. And I couldn't figure that cape out. That cape is hard to put on. But then look at this. Look at this head sculpt. Come on. Let's go. This thing is amazing. Like, look at that leather. The texture in it. Like, that's on the whole statue. It comes off really good right there on camera. But look at the smile. The creepy, the teeth, the gloss to the teeth. Yeah, this head sculpt is amazing. And this right here is actually the collector's edition. I got this exclusive edition of the statue for the extra head sculpt. And this collector's edition, regular edition head sculpt, I think far exceeds the exclusive edition. But yeah, like the stitching, paint apps, everything on this just great. That head sculpt kills it. It's a banger. Of course, just keys in right there. And all of these keys have really good magnets. Like, they were really strong and clicked right in. Most of this went together fairly easy, except for that cape. I hate the way they designed that cape to go in, and they don't give you an instruction booklet, so it took me forever. Look at these hands. The blue veins coming through. Like the fact that they added that tinge of blue over the veins and not just sculpted them, and like it just, the paint apps are killing it. These hands are great. You know, the axe with the wrap, leather wrap. I mean, the veins, the blood splatter, the little bit of blood on the knuckles, the attention to detail here is ridiculous. Like, you can literally see splatter. Oh, it's not just red paint, like, or whatever. It's, you could see the splatter over that when you have it in hand. And the axe is phenomenal too. Like, it's actually sharp. No joke sharp. Like, could poke you. But, I mean, the paint apps, I can go on and on. And that just keys in right there. And then take a look at the other hand real quick. And the axe was exclusive. And the axe is cool. But again, the regular head sculpt's better than the exclusive. The inside of the palm, the wrinkles, like, they paid attention to everything. You could see the splatter there a little better, where it's like he just rips someone apart, rips someone's throat out. Who knows? That's like with these sharp ass nails. And yeah, the paint crushing it here on these hands. And that, of course, keys in right where the other hand would go. And that one's a little wobbly. I didn't like that. See how it wobbles a little? It wasn't as sturdy as everything else on the statue, but the rest of it, wow. And there you have most of the statue together. Again, my cape is still sitting there behind him because it took me forever to figure out how to put it on. I had to watch an instruction video on how to put it together. But here we go with the exclusive heads. I mean, the regular edition head sculpt, excuse me, on there. That cackling head sculpt, it's just so much better than the exclusive. And here's one of the chains he comes with. And look at how long it is. I'm 6 feet tall. This thing is a good 4.5 feet long. I couldn't believe how long this chain was. And this is the one with the hook. It does come with 2 chains. I only ended up putting one on here. I don't know if one goes on the exclusive axe hand or not. I think it does, but I wasn't sure at the time, so I only put the one on here. But again, that hook is actually pointy. And you kind of just lay it on there however you want, design it however you want, dangle it off there. And there's actually magnets in the wrist area, which I thought was a great add to keep it cling however you like. And here we have the other head sculpt, which is a great head sculpt. I don't think it's as good as the cackling one. I think they did the leather a little better on this one. The sculpting, where the other one has a little more smooth parts, maybe you can't see that leather texture. Has a little more stitching, a little more pink in the cheeks for some reason. And then here's the cape, when I finally figured it out. The trench coat, whatever you want to call it. And that's how it goes in. And then you have to angle it a weird way to actually get the waist to fit over it. And I didn't know that. I wasn't angling it. I kept trying to force the waist over it and thinking they sent me too big of a cape. Something was wrong with it. And I chipped a little of the paint off. So that was upsetting. But thank you guys for joining me. I'll catch you next time. Peace out.